I, Roxana Parveen, Senior Lecturer at the Department of Biology, Milestone College, welcome you to today's lecture. The topic's name is Structure of Human Ear. After the overall discussion, we will get to know the detailed structure of external ear, parts of the middle ear, anatomy of the internal ear, structure of the vestibular organ or principal hearing organ, structure of the balancing organs, and the nerves related to hearing and balancing. So let's get started. As you see, the overall diagram is of the human ear. The whole structure can be divided into three parts: the outer ear or external ear, the middle ear from here to there, and internal ear or inner ear from here to the rest parts. As you can see, the outer portion of the external ear is here, which is internally formed of cartilage and covered by soft or thin skin. This is called the pinna, and this is curved in different angles to perceive the specific frequency of sound waves. Next, which is called the auditory canal or ear canal, which allows the sound vibration to come in the internal ear. And you see at the end of the outer ear there is a shape, concave shape, very thin membranous structure called eardrum. The middle ear is composed of eardrum, three ossicles or bones, small bones, known as the malleus, followed by incus, and the next hammer-shaped stapes or hook-shaped stapes, which is connected to the oval window or fenestra ovalis. The inner ear is composed of two units. One is hearing unit, which is called the cochlea, and another is balancing unit known as the semicircular canals or the vestibular apparatus. And finally, you see all these hearing and balancing units are connected to the nerves called auditory nerve and vestibular nerve. Altogether, they are called auditory vestibular nerves. And you see another structure which is connected to the oval window towards the inner surface of the beneath part of the ear called eustachian tubules, which is formed of gelatinous liquid substances. Well, here is the description about the external ear, which consists of pinna or auricle. This is the outside part of the ear, external auditory canal or tube. This is the tube that connects the outer ear to the inside or the middle ear. Tympanic membrane or eardrum. The tympanic membrane divides the external ear from the middle ear. The middle ear or tympanic cavity consists of the ossicles or the bones known as malleus, incus, and stapes. What about the middle ear? The middle ear is also called the tympanic cavity, which consists of three ossicles, as you can see, and eustachian tubes, which is the canal that links the middle ear with the back of the nose. The eustachian tube helps to equalize the pressure in the middle ear. Equalized pressure is needed for the proper transfer of sound waves. The eustachian tubule is linked with mucus, just like the inside of the nose and throat. The inner ear consists of three portions known as cochlea, vestibule, and semicircular canals or semicircular tubules, which are situated at the 90-degree angles to each other. Well, that's the interesting part came here. The three bones. One is malleus or known as hammer, incus or known as anvil, and stapes known as stirrup. This stapes, the last part of the ear ossicle, is very specialized made, which is connected to the oval window or fenestra ovalis leading to the cochlea. Let's see the parts of the internal ear. Internal ear is formed of two units, as I said just now. The hearing unit or cochlea and the balancing unit known as semicircular canals. You see the cochlear tubule is twisted just like the snail cover or shells, and at the center of the cochlear ducts you see the cochlear nerves, which further connected to the upcoming nerves which are ascending from the semicircular tubules towards the brain, known as vestibular nerve. Let's see the structure of the semicircular canals. You see the swelled portions at the base of the different, three semicircular canals. This one is called the ampulla, or, the storehouse of the balancing units. However, let's focus on the three tubes. One is called anterior semicircular canal, and one posterior semicircular canal, and one lateral semicircular canal. These three canals are situated at the 90-degree angles so that they can perceive the motion or angles of the body. At the base of every canal, you see the swelled portions known as ampulla, and at the base or the floor, there is a small wavy structure or convex structure called sacculus, and the white floor-like structure at the junctions of the ampulla or the gaps between the ampullae are called utricle. Here, the sacculus and utricle carry the balancing units which are sensitive to the gravity, which also take part in balancing. Here is the interesting part came, the internal view of the cochlea. This is the section, longitudinal section of the cochlea, and this is the central cochlear nerve, you see, and the cochlea, each cochlea is, segmented into three chambers, 1, 2, and 3. At the base of the middle chamber, there are some hearing units called the organs of Corti. You see this, and this. Well, this is the more detailed view of the organ of Corti. There are three chambers, 1, 2, and 3. See, the organ of Corti is covered by a thick gelatinous membrane known as the tectorial membrane, which is the principal organ or machine to perceive the sound waves of different frequency to convert the sound wave frequency to a sensitivity as neurotransmission or the electric signals by charging the nearest nerve tissues here. Well, this is the diagrammatic view of the section of the cochlea. You see there are three chambers, the scala vestibuli, the middle one is called the scala media, and the lower part is called the scala tympani. They are connected to each other by two membranes. In between scala vestibuli and scala media, there is a thick membrane known as the Reissner's membrane. And in between the scala media and scala tympani, there is a basement membrane. On the basement membrane, the hearing unit, that is the organ of Corti, is situated. You see, inside the organ of Corti, there are some sensory hairy cells which is connected to the tectorial membrane by some hairy structures. These are the hairs of the sensory hairy cells. At the base of the sensory hairy cells, the nerve or nervous system or some auditory nerves are connected. This is the tunnel, and this one is the tunnel fibers, the caps. Here the neurojunctions occur, outer hairy nerve cells, and the Dieter's cells, which are the nutritious cells, and you see the basilar membrane is found here, onto which some cuboidal epithelial tissues covers up the middle layer. Okay, till now we learned about the hearing units or the structures involved in hearing. Now we'll focus on the balancing unit, or the body balance is done by some special type of organs or units called the cochlea, and the base of the cochlea, you see the cochlea is called the hearing unit, and just at the base of the cochlea, uticulus, sacculus and semicircular canals are there, which are involved in balancing. At the base of every semicircular tubule, I told that there are some structures called ampulla. Let's have a section of the ampulla. Here you can see some spatial structures inside the ampulla called the copula or cupula, which is filled with the perilymph, and this is the endolymph. These are the two liquids which creates some sort of potentials to move the liquids. Okay, and the copula, the base of the copula, there is a layer of sensory hairy cells. These are the hairs which can tilt on the motion, and this is perceived by the nerve fibers. And these are the hairs, the straightened structure of the saccular internal views, which are called the otoconium, and this is the otoconium. At the base, the otolithic membranes are there, which are embedded by some cilia of the type 2 hair cells or sensory hair cells. You may write the sensory hairy cells too. There is not a problem. Okay, and the base membrane allows the nerve fibers to come out of the base of the copula or the sacculus. Here is the detailed structure of the copula. You see how you can draw the diagram. This is important diagram to draw at the exam hall. However, the semicircular ducts, this is the section of the duct, and the whole duct is filled with the liquids. An ampulla is filled with the endolymph, and at the base of the copula you see the supporting cells which can support the sensory hairy cells. Well, Last but not the least, the brain has the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, from where 8th number of cranial nerve, known as auditory nerves, can function for both hearing and balancing. However, the vestibulocochlear nerve or auditory vestibular nerve, known as the 8th cranial nerve, which transmits the sound and equilibrium or balance information from the inner ear to the brain. So let's end up. The homework will be, of course, the draw and level the diagram of the human ear. I have shown you the the first part of the lecture. Thank you very much.